Hello everyone, my name is Avkash and I have started this new Unscripted Engineering video tutorial series. The objective behind this video tutorial is to give you all the tools and all the tidbits, all the information you really needed to be a very productive and a very successful software engineer. Everything what you are going to see here is all I learned. I follow almost every day, and so I decided to everything I know I should dump over to you. In this very first video, I'm going to start with command line tools which are essential for every software engineer to master themselves. We're going to start with iTerm version 2 in this video, and we will see how we can make the best use of it, how you could be a very effective and a versatile software engineer by using these tools. So let's get ourselves started.
So very first thing what we really need is that we need to install the terminal on it. So I will look into terminal, or which we call the iTerm. So iTerm needs to be installed here. So that's a very first tool for every engineer to really get a start with. So download completed. Let's install it. Now the term is there. I'm gonna put in applications and iTerm. It's coming. Open it, because again it's just a notification from Apple that source authenticated source, but we already know that how important iTerm is. So this is the iTerm base screen. Now what we need to do is that we need to go ahead and we need to make it more designed and then add a couple of control in settings in it, so it looks like more of the developer tool. Okay, for that I do have a kind of my own very old GitHub MLDL. So I will say GitHub MLDL of Kosh. So in this I actually have a page where how to set up your machine, which I maybe 5-6 years back I did. So here is the how to install the zshell. So for the zshell you need to have the Brew. So first we need to really install the homebrew on this machine, because if you look into here I actually do not even have the Brew installed. So first I need to install the Brew. So we need to go and we need to install the Brew, and that's the command here. So we will just take this whole command, use it. I'll put my password, install, and that's all really needed in order to get the Brew working in our machine. It might take few minutes to get it done, so I will just fast forward it. Rather, I won't say anything, it will just gonna fast forward. So Brew has the dependency on the Xcode tools. So Xcode tools has been downloaded and they are being installed. So as you could see that Xcode command line tools has been installed. Now the homebrew package is being downloaded and then they're gonna be installed. So looks like the Brew has been installed. I can say Brew, and as you could see that Brew command has been installed. Now we need to go and make sure that we do have the zshell installed here. So after Brew has been installed, I'm gonna use Brew to install the zshell. Zshell has been installed. Okay, now as you could see here that zshell has been installed in this machine. So what I need to do is that now I need to download a particular I would say configuration script, or because zshell has a various scripts available, and then one of them is the my zshell. So I will add it, and in order to add it, basically I'm going to run this command. This is the command. Okay, as you could see here, my zshell has been added here. Now what we need to do is that we need to actually go ahead and set which particular theme we need to use in our machine. Okay, so this has been installed. Now you see that our terminal has been changed. Let me exit it, and I will launch iTerm again. Now this is our iTerm. Now as you could see here, the terminal design has been changed a lot. So first we will change this theme, which is my favorite one. So let me look into, because I'm at home, I will go to here. You see there is a zshell resource file, so you can actually say cat.gsh resource file, and as you could see here there are various settings part of that. Now you can go ahead and you can edit it, and here as you see here the default theme is Ruby Rachel. So what we will do is that we will convert this all theme and we will call it so Jonathan. So I'm gonna say escape escape p. So I have copied this, enter. Let me just keep it. So I have saved the previous and I will change this one and I'm changing to Jonathan. Again, you can look into, there are so many themes available. If you like something else, not Jonathan, you can go ahead and use it. This is saved. As you can see, this is saved. Now let me go ahead and exit it. iTerm start, and now as you could see here that this is full screen. Now it's telling me what is my machine, and if I have anything GitHub related, it will come. But as you could see here, the colors are really not read correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to change this settings. So I'm changing the item settings here. So I will go look into the appearance window. As you could terminal. Oh, this is controls are. Let me change my display. So I have two displays. Okay, here. So arrange. This is that machine on my left top. So that's the way I have arranged the screen, and I'm gonna LG display. One is here, and then my main. So second one I'm not using right now, so I will use that way. So this is my configuration, and then I will use which one is my main. So as you could see here, that's the orange, and main is my here. So if I try to use command and tab, I could see that running in my local machine. Now I can go and then use the terminal, and there is the item. So this is the terminal, this is item. So I will be using the item. Okay, and here let's come back, look for settings, and we need to look into shortcut arrangements. Okay, now we have keys, profiles. So this is the default profile, and in the default profile, as you could see, login is when it starts, it's using the zshell. Let's come back to color, foreground, background. So if we want to use the different background color, you can see that there is a different background color. So I'm gonna change the background color to dark. Okay, foreground color I will make it more white. So okay, so this is what I'm releasing. So now you see it's more readable. Next step, I will change the fonts. So I really like some bigger fonts, as you could see here. So this is the font I'm using. So it's easier for me, as well as I usually use the Monaco 20. So that's my font. I can go to Windows and I can actually add the transparencies. If you see here, what you could see my background. So that is, so what I do is that I just put about 2 or 3% or maybe 5%. So at least there is a little idea I have what is happening in background, and I can even do a little, depending on which color you have choose here, you need to know what, if my foreground is all white, so I could actually do, if I want to make all white, I can make all white this way, and then I go to background. If I want to make this is like really all dark black, I can say 0 0 0. So this is all dark black. Then I can come back to here Windows, and I can say, okay, what is my transparency? So here, as you could see, that my transparency scale could be different depending on which color I have choose. So I have 15% and blur. This way you can actually see that the background enable blur, so the background will not be readable clearly. You see, so you can actually make a blur. That way you don't really, you still can see, but you don't really want people to know what is in your background. So that's blur. So I have add, I don't really need, so I just use 2 blur. Okay, and if you want to add more rows or add more columns, this is how you can do, but I stick with same default. Okay, and if you want to put a background image, you can do it, but that's really not needed. So that's how I set it up. I'm gonna go back and I will exit it and I will start again my iTerm. And once my iTerm is ready, this is the final one. If I want to run the 2 side by side, I can say make vertical. Now you see that I have one, I have second here, and I can actually work together. And as you see here, that soon as previously I could not use the ll command, which is just listing, but it's working because my zshell has a lots of command. When I include the zshell and I use the configurations or different settings, that really gives you a lot of new commands which are available for us. Okay, so that's pretty much sets up our zshell. Once the zshell is there, then there are several other things you could do, but I think that we will pass it. So right now our main job is that our iTerm is ready. Once iTerm is ready, the next step comes that you really need to learn how to add the desktop. So I always use multiple desktops in my project, in my machine. So this is the machine I dedicate this machine to tutorials and my other work, and I have another machine where I do all my professional work and which has a lots of desktops. So what I will do in the Mac, I will just use the all 4 fingers, and here I will be creating the desktop. So as you could see here that these are the desktops I have. If you go top, you can see I have one desktop. I can add multiple desktop. So I have added these 3 desktop. If I come here, you could see that there is nothing right now. If I go back again, just may come back, third desktop. I wish there is a way to name these desktop, but so far I haven't found that you can really rename those things. So now I can come to second desktop here, and I can actually come and I can come the iTerm, which is what I will do is that I will remove the terminal from the okay, I'm not keeping in docs, so let me go ahead and quit it. So iTerm, so terminal is not available. Now I only have the iTerm here. I can right click here and I can say new window. So when it is going to use the default profile, it's going to use the exact same thing. So now I have another terminal open here. I can come back to my third desktop and I can actually open another terminal here. Now I have 3 terminal. Next, once our zshell based terminal is ready, we have already seen that you can create the multiple of these desktop. But if I go to desktop 2, and you can see my video is not available because my video is actually set for desktop 1. So each desktop has its own layout where you can run the application. So for example, if I can open the Finder window here, and I can open this window as the download folder, I can go to third desktop, I can open another new window here, and I can open that at the desktop. And as you could see that wherever I go, I can still keep my configuration the way it is. One thing, I can actually open different windows too. So the way you do is that you go to particular desktop, go to your Chrome, right click, and you can say new window. In new window will open here. And if I can come here and I can say, let's go to GitHub. Okay, I'm opening GitHub here. I can come back at desktop 3. I can say, there you go, Google Chrome, open a new window, and here I can use the, for example, Hugging Face, and I'm here. So now I have multiple of these applications open, and they are actually running in their, but they are grouped into a different desktop, which really helps me to keep my work really compartmentalized. Whatever I'm doing, I can go And not only one very important aspect of having these different Google Chrome tabs running in different desktop is that you can actually have a different Gmail account connected with that. Your professional, personal, all the accounts you have, they will connect in different these desktops, and they will work. Okay, once our, let's go to first working, that was our iTerm. Now I usually, what I do is that right now, if you look into what is our working directory, is my working directory is this users, and then my main user. So what I do is that I actually come here and I create a work directory, and I am at the work. So most of my work really sits in the work. And if you see, we have access to Git. Yeah, okay, Git commands are there. If you want to look into the npm, the node package manager, you see that I do not have node package manager installed, so I need to install the node. So Brew is your best friend, so you can say Brew install node. And what it do is that it's going to install the node in my machine, and node comes with various other packages, and I'm just using node, so it will use the latest version of the node installed in my machine, because node several requirements in when you are developing, when you are engineer developing various applications, you really need to have lots of these tool set available. And I use a lot of terminal most of the time. All of my Git, I usually do everything from command line. So that's the reason I need to make sure that my terminal is the number one application which most use, and it has a various library installed, so I could do my work efficiently. Okay, node has been downloaded. Now it's going to take some time to install. Let it be there. Okay, so node, okay, it means node has installed. You can see node version. It's going to tell you which version of node has been installed in this machine. And if this is taking time, okay, what is this very first time? Let me see, it's next time. Okay, it's faster now. It's fast. Okay, so this version of node, let me see the npm. Now the node package manager is also installed. So I have the node runtime as well as the node package manager installed in this machine. I'm still here. I can use pwd, my working folder, and I can also look into the go to work. I'm here at work, and that's where it is. Yeah, so usually what I do when I'm do not use this, when I use right side screen and I'm recording the video, I can change this right side screen. So I'm left side, I'm right side. I highlight right side, come here, and I can say split horizontally. And in that case, I have this horizontal, and I can come back and I can keep this under here, and I can keep working here. Oh, I'm already in work. So, and that's how I, okay, let's say a control sequence to clear scroll back history. Allow this in future. No, we don't need. Okay. Okay. So our scroll back history is already available, and that's how I can still keep using my command line, and I can still have my video available. Clear. Okay. And sometimes if you see here, you want to know if I have Python installed or not. So we can look into the Python, and you can see there is no Python, and we have node here. So it means that how you know where the node is installed. So you can also say where node. So node is coming out from local bin, and if you say where is npm, is coming out for user local bin. Okay, and if Python is not available, so our next step is that we need to install the Python. And there are people have various ways to install. What is my way is that I actually use Conda to do it, because I use Conda, and then I use the Conda environment to create the various environments for various version I would want to use it. So Conda, for someone, it might be looking a little big because it takes some time to install, but the next step is that I will use Conda because I find it once it's installed, yes, takes some time, it's a big, but once Conda is there, it's become much easier. So my preference is to using Conda. So I will come back here, and I will say install Conda Mac. Okay, and as you could see here that you need to download the Conda. There are many Conda versions available, so you can choose which one you want, bigger, smaller. There are, okay, so here you have Anaconda in, okay, so Anaconda is bigger one, Mini Conda is a smaller one, and here we have, okay, go to free download. Okay, and here I need to provide, looks like, okay, exact all. I need to provide my email, so I will say avkash at I need to have demo emails on ai at gmail.com. I agree. Okay, I will come to desktop 3. I will come here, gmail.com. I will sign in. Okay, I'm signed in. Okay, let's come back to Gmail. Download now. Let's download for Mac. This is the Intel old one. So my professional machine, where I use all the work, is say Apple Silicon. This one is still Intel. Okay, Conda package has been downloaded. Okay, you see that because I try to open the Finder window, because the default Finder window was in desktop 2. I will come back here. I will get a Finder window for this environment too. I will say new window, and now I will say, okay, let's go to download. Here is the Anaconda. So that is the Finder window which is dedicated for desktop 1. Okay, just allow, continue. I know it's a big package, but it just helps me manage all the packages, everything what I really want to do effectively. The Conda installation has been completed. Let's close it. I will keep it. So now the Conda has been installed. I can come back here and look into these terminals. So sometimes you need to understand is that because these terminals are already opened, and sometimes when you install the packages, it is very much possible the environment has been updated, but that environment is not being loaded into the terminal. So there are a couple of ways you could do it. There is a command called sources. Source. You, okay, source as, okay, with the source what you need is that you need to provide the shell. So current our shell is zshell. So you can say that in the source, okay, you can look into the working folder and gshrc, and you can say reload this source. So this way what we are doing is that all the new environment which has been updated to the shell, they could be reloaded. So currently we are using the zshell, but if you are using bash or whatever you in your terminal, you can just use that. So if I use the Conda here, you see the Conda is not found, but if I use the Conda here, you will see the Conda is available, because in this shell I have sourced it. So all that new configuration which was added into my shell are available here, but it's not. So either you need to close the environment, reload it, or you can just source it. So I will say source, reload. And one of the advantages of using zshell is that when I do the upper key, it actually remember all the commands. So it just gives me the which command I want, and if I just want to use a particular command, I can just type a little and it will remember. If I say no, it will know that, oh, what was my previous command, filtered with that. So it also filter the command that way. So if I'm using gate and I say gate dash, and it automatically use that particular command. So it's a very useful command for that. Now if I say Conda here, Conda is going to work here as well. So if you are very new to Conda, you really don't need to remember anything. These are the commands available which you can read, and they are very self-explanatory. So I can say Conda, not info. It is providing the information about the Conda environment, where the binaries are, all that environment related with that. So it's you see this using That's the place where the Conda is installed. Here is my machine. Base Python version is 3.12.4. Okay, and Conda version is 24.5 and other settings. If you look into here, Python, now as you could see that Python is base Python is installed with the Conda. I can close it and I can say Python dash v. Oh, sorry. Version uppercase v. Yeah. So there are you just need to remember node dash v and Python. There you go. So many things. Okay, so now we have Python base installed, but we need to create the Python 11, Python 12, Python 12 different version. You can actually have 12 and various other things. So just of sake of completeness, I'm just gonna create one environment here. So you can say Conda, and if you say Conda list, it gives the list of packages installed in this environment. So having a two side-by-side windows, it really helps you. To one side you can see the command and right side you can utilize it. You can actually add the tabs also. So there is a command T, you can add a new tab. So now you see here I have a tab. Here I could use this full screen command or Conda list, and it's telling me various packages which are installed, Python packages which are installed. And as you see here that actually I have a background, so I know what is in my background, so I can very quickly go look into where it is. I can look into here, and sometimes if you want to make the transparency even much more clear, and you can actually read what is, and then you can use the command and you can actually interact with it. So that's why you don't need to remember command. If I have the Conda command listed here, I could actually use the terminal and I can still read everything. So I will create a new Conda environment here. So command is Conda create, but before that you really need to know if there are any environments available. So you can say Conda env list. It will give you the list of all the environments created. So this is the base one, so I will say Conda create. As soon as I say Conda create, it actually telling me that okay, here are the various parameters which are required for Conda create. And I think you can say help Conda create, and it's the same thing. There is no help. So okay, so dash is for, so I can say Conda create dash h, and there you go, help. So help is explained, like now you can really read in details if you would want to know, but I will say let's create a Conda create. And I think I have a note here. So okay, so the name dash n is the name. So I will say this is Python 3.1.12, and here now you can say the what version of Python you want to use. So you can say 3.12, and I think that's pretty much it is. So you are saying that create a new environment named Python 3.12, and the version of Python I really needed is Python 3.12, and you just enter it. Now a new environment will be created. It's gonna take few minutes because majority of the packages are already installed. So whenever you are installing the packages, it's better to install packages. Okay, let me see. Yes, in the Conda environment, because now those packages are available to install for all the different environments. But you can also install the packages in an individual environment as well. So they are not shared across multiple environment, but you have to be implicitly installed packages in various environment. That's the reason the separation is really built into between the environments, whether you are using 3.1.2 for deep learning and 3.1.2 for data engineering. To separate, you can install packages depending on your need. So as you see, Conda activate, you just give the name, and Conda deactivate. So right now this is the package which we have installed. I can come back here and I can say Conda env. As you could see here, Conda env is going to tell us that how many various way to manage is our environment. So I can say Conda env list. As you could see here, now we know that Py 3.1.12 is installed, so I can say Conda activate Py 3.1.2, and this is the
Now, as you see here, zshell is helping us to know that there is a Python environment is active. If I come back here, if you see the Python, this Python command is using the base Python, which is 3.12.04. But if I use here, I say Python, this Python is actually using the environment py312. So if I will work and I install a particular package in this environment, that will be part of only that, it will not be bleed over here. So you have created the environment, you want to deactivate, means you want to go out from environment, you can say deactivate. What was the command? Okay, let me see. The command was config create, I think source Conda activate. Okay, we created here. The command was Conda deactivate. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Okay, and now we are back to base here. So that's Python. So if you now, it will use a different version of. So you can also say which Python. So here you can see that it is using the Python which is Anaconda base. But if you run the source activate, and if you say which Python, now you see that Python is coming from different. So here is Python is coming out from this environment, here is coming out from base Python. Now you can say the pip, I think let's see pip is installed or not. So pip command is already available in our machine. So pip is going to, basically this is a package manager, so it's going to help you to install various packages depending on your environment. You can use Conda to install, or you can use pip to install. Okay. Okay. So pip. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so that's the help. We see the pip help, and I remember is that it's there are, okay, so these are the main commands. So let's come back here. We can say pip help, and here we can do so the commands which we are interested here. So here is the pip install, pip config, okay, verify installed package have. So if you say if list of packages, so pip list is going to give you the list of packages installed in the base environment. But if you change the environment, and you can say Conda activate pip list, and these are the packages installed, you can grep it. So the 312 has these packages base, because we just asked Conda to create a new environment. So these are the packages installed. So you have a very good understanding now that okay, after creating the environment, how Conda manages the various environments and how you can really import and export various packages as needed. So first we install the iterm, then we install the Conda, and as you see here that whole iterm, the terminal which we have used, is being used to install and manage Conda environment. So these are the two very important applications for any engineer to use, whether you are using Linux or Windows or Mac. As you could see here that the terminal will be available for you in all environment, and that is what is going to make you very successful. So you can use iterm on Linux as well. I have not used Windows, so I cannot really tell, but Windows already has their command command prompt, and I think you can run the shell environment there, and then definitely these command will work for the Conda, because Conda does have the Windows package. So those two packages are installed applications, the iterm and the Conda. Now we will go to next package. So I hope that after watching this video, you are a better and more productive software engineer. Thanks for your time, and keep enjoy watching this video. Thank you.